What's up guys, it's Oblivious Gamer here, and today I wanted to talk about the Trials of series. So I'm a huge fan of this series. If you already don't know, I love the games, play most of them except of course the latest one, which was Hajimari no Kiseki. Now, if you probably didn't know, a while back they announced that there was gonna be a new Trials game with new characters and a new location, and they would be using a new engine, which a cutscene in Hajimari no Kiseki does showcase how the new engine looks like, which I think is this one if I'm not mistaken. For plot purposes, I will only show the video with no sound and no translation, just in case, since also this game hasn't come out here in the West. Now, recently we got some more news about this new Trials of game, and this new game will be called The Legend of Heroes Kuro no Kiseki, which translates to Trails of Black, with a release date of sometime 2021 in Japan. Now, a lot of this information comes from an interview in Famitsu, which has a 5-page interview with Falcom's president Toshiro Kondo. Now, I'm not going to go over all those 5 pages. This is more like small bits, and I'm just giving out my thoughts. There's also a website up for the game, and they already have like a small prologue, but obviously that's only Japanese. I'm going to leave the link if you guys want to check it out of the website in the description. Now, this game is going to be set in the Republic of Calvart, the east side of the continent, in the year 1208 of the Septian calendar. So if I'm not mistaken and my memory is not off, this takes place a year later after Hajimari no Kiseki, which took place during the year 1207 of the Septian calendar. Now, from the information we're given, it seems the Republic of Calvart is described as a cultural sphere in the vein of Eastern Europe with an influx of people from the Middle East. So I think it would be interesting seeing this mixture of Asia and Europe, seeing the culture and the overall style of the place. I'm very curious to see more. Also, compared to Erebonia, the Republic of Calvart is a small place. And personally, I'm fine with the area not being big, especially starting with a new group of characters. They have confirmed that the game will be as long as any Cold Steel game, and also the same amount of content that you're used to in a Cold Steel game you should expect in this new game. So hopefully that gives you guys an idea of sort of like what to expect when it comes to length and content, which for me, I enjoyed the length of the Cold Steel series, and I really like sinking my time in those games. Not much else was talked about what to expect when it comes to the settings. However, they did talk about the characters, and we do get some images which I'll be showing. Now, apparently from what has been described, our characters are somewhat in the gray zone of society when it comes to their job profession. So I'm really interested in these characters that are not necessarily, good or bad. For me, it is interesting because I feel if done properly, this can lead to interesting conflicts and decisions from these characters as well as growth, since our characters are not attached to one ideology such as being good or being evil. I am curious to see, though, if that is what they mean with characters in the gray zone, because they mentioned that unlike in the previous game, there won't be 50 playable characters, there will be less, and also, unlike the previous games where the characters had a good amount of allies, you will have more enemies in this game. And this is mainly attributed due to the protagonist's line of work, which makes me wonder, what is their job? I mean, I'm thinking they could be a bounty hunter. I feel that can be a very gray zone job, but again, this is just me guessing. Now, this is recently added, like this is just information that just came out like an hour ago, so I'm just adding this to what I already talked about. So we just got a couple of more information about the game and the job. So apparently the job our characters have is called Spriggans, and it's described as a kind of underground profession born from the melting pot of diversity that is the Calvart Republic. Some days as detectives, some days as negotiators, and other days as bounty hunters. They are up for any job from any client. That includes cases even the police are unable to handle and issues citizens cannot discuss in public, as well as honest work from criminals and underground organizations. So I sort of guess my immediate guess of the profession was sort of right. I mean, it was in the area. I'm really curious to see more about these job, and I really want to see how the people in the Society of the Republic of Calvert specifically react to Spriggans. Because from what we have been told, since it's a very gray zone job, it seems you can have potentially a lot of people that hate the profession or hate the character. So I'm really curious to see more. They also show some characters, 3 to be precise. We don't see the face of 2 of them, we only get to see the face of the female character. Also, 90% of the characters will be new characters, however 10% will be returning characters. So we will be seeing some characters from the previous games, which I feel excited, but I'm hoping they don't take too much the spotlight and leave the new characters to shine by themselves. Don't get me wrong, I love seeing the previous characters from previous games, especially seeing if there's growth in them or change, but if we're starting new, or with new characters, I would like to get to know these new characters and hope these characters can establish by themselves, not relying on old characters too much. They also mentioned that this game will have a definite ending, but I feel it contradicts itself because Kondo says if the game doesn't sell well, there won't be a sequel. So maybe they're putting a definite ending just in case the game doesn't sell well to not leave the plot hanging. But at the same time, if it does sell well, and it is supposed to have a definite ending, then how could you get a sequel? Unless the sequel probably just features the new characters in an entire new story? Or that statement of having a definite ending is just a lie? I mean, I'm just guessing here, we really don't know and we're not gonna find out until the game comes out. Now, when it comes to gameplay, they did mention some changes, so battles will be seamless with commands being input in real time with no pausing. But there will be an option to switch to command style battles. There will be no combat links or brave order, instead it will be a new system. Arts and craft will remain, but the Arcus system will be replaced with what's called Sifa. If I'm pronouncing it correctly, it's with an X. There's also a system called Alignment Flame, in which depending on your playstyle, your character's alignment will be lawful, gray, or chaotic. And it will change and it influence your status as well as the story. But there will not be any situation where an event does not occur due to your specific alignment. So I'm very curious about this system and how impactful this will be, because this can be implemented well and create something unique, as well as be implemented poorly and create situations that in the end won't matter much for the ending, which I feel the latter tends to happen more with games where developers hype up this system of like your decisions and alignment affects your situation, but in the end it really didn't matter much, and many of the outcomes because of the choices that you make turns out to be small or barely mentioned. I mean, we will have to see, but just based on experience with other games, I am a little skeptical about the system. But again, the game doesn't even have an actual trailer, so better wait until we see more to formulate a better opinion. For platforms, it seems this will be more focused on the PS4 more than the PS5, since they did say they will support the PS5, but they will start where there's more demand, which at least for now, there are more PS4 consoles than PS5. Though that could change in the future, but at least for now, that is not the case. Also, if there's demand, they will support other platforms. Overall, I'm really happy we're getting a new Trials of game, and even though there's some news here that could make you skeptical, such as their new combat system, or their new in-game engine, or that new alignment system, I want to give them the benefit of the doubt before I go, this is bad or this is good, and I want to wait for more information to formulate a better opinion. But in general, I'm excited and looking forward for what's to come. So what are your guys' thoughts? Are you excited for the game? This has been Oblivious Gamer, and I hope you'll have a wonderful day or night wherever you are.